What's up guys, Houndish here with this week's vendor reset breakdown for Destiny. We're going to take a look at any awesome weapons you can pick up, as well as any very well-rolled armor for July the 11th up until July the 18th. So starting out at the Crucible Quartermaster, we have the hero formula. So we've got the red dot ORA2, ranged lens RL-R5 and OEG rifle scopes. Up next we have Outlaw or Take a Knee. In the middle we've got Perfect Balance or Explosive Rounds. And then finally Firefly. So if you wanted a Firefly Explosive Rounds Outlaw roll, then you've got it here, and it's pretty nice, man. If you enjoy, Firefly or Outlaw in PvP, you can go with Perfect Balance if you're not so much into Explosive Rounds. We also have Take a Knee, which is kind of, pretty good, kind of low-key good if you use it well. So overall, a pretty nice roll right there. Do we have a god roll of the Palindrome? Let's see. Let's just go straight here. Okay, it's small bore, so no. Anyway, we've got Steady Hand IS, Sure Shot IS, and Quick Draw IS. We have Mulligan or Icarus right there. Up next, we've got Small Bore or High Caliber Rounds, and then finally Reactive Reload. So Reactive Reload, Icarus, and then Small Bore is not too bad. You got decent range and stability right there. It's not going to hit that max range stat that you get with Rifle Barrel, and that's generally the most important thing. So it is a pretty good roll. It's not a terrible roll or anything like that, but it's absolutely not the god roll. The event horizon for the week is an interesting one. So we've got Sightsys, ViewTac, and Taxis right there. Okay, that's kind of disappointing. Up next, we've got Grenadier or Perfectionist. We have Skip Rounds or Snapshot, and then finally Hidden Hand right there. So Hidden Hand, Snapshot, and then Grenadier or Perfectionist if depending on your preference right there, but can both be decent. It's a pretty nice roll, but we don't have Short Gaze or Ambush, which are two of the kind of favorite scopes in general. Nonetheless though, if any of these are, your preference, then this could be a pretty nice roll. We've got an okay Parthian shot right here at the Vanguard Quartermaster. So we've got red dot ORA2, Steady Hand IS, and OEG rifle scopes. We've got Rodeo or Life Support in the first column, then we have Perfect Balance or Appended Magazine, and finally Third Eye. So sights-wise, these may not be the preferences. Sure Shot generally is pretty nice on this thing. Up next, Rodeo, not too bad of a bonus, or Life Support to be fair. It's not super great, but it can work sometimes. You got decent stability options or Appended Magazine. Really, I'd go with the stability options, but if you want a Third Eye roll, then this may be something to play around with. Again, not the god roll, but it's okay. The How Dare You this week has a pretty nice set of perks. So we've got Steady Hand, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw IS. Sure Shot is always a nice. Up next, we have Hot Swap or Icarus. Two pretty good options right there, depending on your preference. We have Rifle Barrel, so you're going to get as much range out of this particular weapon as you can possibly get. Up next, Casket Mag, and then finally we have Hidden Hand. So we have Hidden Hand, Rifled, Icarus right there. Pretty good roll. Not the best hand cannon, it is in the lower impact archetype, but if you're a fan of the higher rate of fire hand cannon class, then you're not going to do a lot better than this roll right here. xHOUNDISHx from Vanguard is pretty nice as well. So we have MD Reflex, red dot ORA, and OEG scopes. We've got knee pads or life support right there. Then we have small bore or accelerated coils, and finally rangefinder. So for me, I would be going rangefinder and then small bore because, more stability and range at the same time is pretty nice on fusion rifles. I would probably go knee pads personally as well, and this would make for a pretty nice PvP roll of this fusion rifle. Up next, we've got the Whale, so Steady Hand IS, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw IS. Up next, we have Explosive Rounds or Lightweight. In the middle, we've got Hammer Forged or Hot Swap, and then finally Hidden Hand. So this is actually fairly decent. Hidden Hand with Hammer Forged, it's going to get you, up there as far as range and accuracy is concerned. And then Explosive Rounds, which, don't have damage drop off. So this is a pretty nice roll of the Whale right there. The weighting this week is particularly good for PvP stuff, so we've got MD Reflex, red dot ORA, and OEG scopes. Up next, Accelerated Coils or Snapshot. In the middle, we have Perfect Balance or Performance Bonus, and finally Rangefinder. So Rangefinder is really going to help with the fusion rifle. As tempting as Perfect Balance is, if you can live without that stability, Performance Bonus is going to be pretty nice, especially with the current special ammo situation for PvP right there. And then I would go Snapshot personally, but you do have the option of accelerated coils, which reduces the weapon charge time in exchange for a little bit of damage right there. So overall, some really nice options on this fusion rifle. The Wounded is also pretty nice. So we've got red dot ORA, ranged lens and OEG scopes. We have armor piercing rounds or Snapshot. In the middle, we've got small bore, and then triple tap, and finally crowd control. So for PvE stuff, I would personally probably go crowd control with triple tap, and then armor piercing rounds, to be honest, would probably be my preference for PvE. If you do want to use this in PvP, then Snapshot may be kind of the preference. Not the best sights, but overall, not a bad roll of the Wounded. Extremophile from Dead Orbit this week is pretty good. So we have MD Reflex, Sure Shot IS and OEG scopes. We've got high caliber rounds or quick draw. In the middle, small bore or third eye right there. And then we have hidden hand. So I would totally go hidden hand with small bore. You're going to boost that stability and range. You know, stability isn't a super massive problem on this archetype of auto rifle. And then high caliber rounds, which just for PvP stuff really transforms this archetype. I feel like it becomes, you know, quite a bit more competitive and capable in a lot of situations with high caliber rounds. So this, you know, hidden hand is always really nice as well. I think this is a pretty good roll. Keystone is pretty similar to the Wounded in a few ways. So we have MD Reflex, ranged lens and reflex scopes. We've got high caliber rounds or Snapshot. In the middle, we have hammer forged or triple tap, and then we've got crowd control. Crowd control on this archetype is pretty nice to have. I mean, triple tap's always good. You do have the option of hammer forged if you want a bit of a bump to range and accuracy. You know, you will get a slightly noticeable accuracy improvement. And then, you know, high cal or Snapshot really is your choice. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but there are definitely some options in there. From New Monarchy, Free Will 3 is not too bad. So we've got True Sight, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw IS. Up next, Armor Piercing Rounds or Hip Fire. We've got Hammer Forged in the middle or Hot Swap, and then finally Rangefinder. So with Rangefinder and Hammer Forged, you know, you're going to have okay range. This is of course the lower impact archetype again. I would probably be interested in trying something like hip fire on this thing, you know, for like a really snappy kind of close range hand cannon. I think it could be interesting. It's not going to be meta, it's not godly, but definitely something to play around with. The Bad Counsel should be pretty fun for PvE stuff in particular. So we have Smooth Ballistics, CQB and Soft Ballistics. Up next, Flared Magwell or Hip Fire. In the middle we've got Hammer Forged or Surrounded, and finally Crowd Control. So you could go Crowd Control, Hammer Forged just to bump that range a little bit. Surrounded is actually not too bad in PvE stuff, you know, if you're running around just killing mobs or anything like that. I would personally go with Flared Magwell just for the bumped up reload speeds, especially for PvE stuff. And I think this could be a fun shotgun. The Deposition Sniper is not too bad. So we've got Hawkeye, we do have Short Gaze and Eagle Eye right there. So Short Gaze is always good. Up next we have Skip Rounds or Lightweight. In the middle column we have Perfect Balance or Clown Cartridge, and finally we've got Unflinching right there. So Unflinching isn't fantastic these days for PvP. You do have the option of Perfect Balance if you want a bit more stability. I would probably go Clown Cartridge, reducing the, reloading the weapon has a chance to grant a larger than normal magazine. It's good for PvE and PvP stuff alike. And then I would probably go Lightweight personally, just to have a bit of fun with this thing. Again, not godly, not necessarily, you know, going to be awesome in one particular thing, but it's something to mess around with. It's kind of the stage that we're at with weapons right now, in my opinion anyway. So that sums up the best weapon rolls that you can pick up in the tower this week, guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anything too awesome. Anyway, we're going to jump on now and take a look at the best armor that you can pick up this week. So the first good roll that you'll get is from the Hunter Vanguard in the tower. We've got the Novgorod Cloak, if that's even how you say it. Discipline Strength with 98%. Got a 100% roll on the Tower Watch Shell with Intellect Strength from Ikora Ray. Varix in the Reef has the Devil's Disguise Hunter Cloak with Discipline Strength at 98%. We've got the Eon Tracer Greaves for the Titan from FWC with Discipline Strength 98%. And we do also have the Eon Tracer Cloak with Discipline Strength at 100% for the Hunter right there. From New Monarchy, you can get the High Command Greaves for the Titan, 98% with Intellect Discipline. You can also get the Hunter Boots right here with Intellect Discipline, again at 98%. In the Iron Temple, Tyra has the Memory of Silumar with Intellect Discipline at 112%, which is very, very good. Definitely pick this thing up. We've got Memory of Timur with Intellect Strength, and this is 88%. And finally, we have Memory of Yoldan, 91% with Discipline Strength. Can the speaker save us and give us some nice rolls? Not necessarily. We do have 96% on the Venom of Akaika for the Hunter right there, Discipline Strength. We've got 96% on the Honor of Cormorant for the Titan with Intellect Discipline. 96% on the Harlequin Pendulum for the Warlock. That's a pretty cool looking bond right there, Intellect Strength. And then 96% on the Striker's Mark with Intellect Strength. We've got Sunsinger's Bond, 96%, Intellect Strength. And Gunslinger's Cloak, oh, it's Intellect Strength, that's a surprise, 96%. So yeah, that about sums up the best armor rolls for the week. So anyway guys, I hope you have found the video useful. If you have, a like and comment below is appreciated. Let me know if you're going to pick anything up. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny and Destiny 2 stuff going forward. For now though, I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I hope you have an awesome week.